What's up everyone, Sammy Solstad here from CarSnipers, expert from oss and import from USA. Today we have something really exciting coming. It's pouring down rain, but we're gonna make this thing happen. A client of ours wanted to find a Porsche 356 for a budget that was extremely low, but we always stay positive and we think it can happen. So we kept an eye out for him for a long time, told him to join all the Porsche groups and so on. He did. And then all of a sudden I got phone call after phone call after phone call from this guy. I was currently loading a car, so I figured, okay, I'll call him back in a little bit. I call him back and he says, I found the one. We have already sent him a few, but they were just a little too rough. And he said, I found one, it just came out, I want to buy it. It is a little over my budget, but I want to have it. So, long story short, we contacted the seller, we made a deal happen, and today he's actually delivering it here at our location so we can get the whole story, where he found it, how he found it, and not only that, he also have a video from when he picked it up and another one. This is today's episode of CarSnipers. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and let's go. How you doing? Good to meet you. Sam.
Hey Sam,
Nice to see you.
Right in that spot there?
Yeah, perfect. There she is, huh? Yeah. That's a lot of money for a small car. So, right. Nice to meet you.
Yes. Well, you know, they bring stupid money when they're restored.
Yeah,
of course, this rain starts. Dude, I went through 4.
Well, it's Florida, right? It rains for 5 minutes, sunny for 5.
Well, you know,
Okay, yeah, we have a little bit on this side.
oh yeah, we're good. Sweet.
Oh, shit, it's working, eh? All right.
And now I'll just pull forward.
Yeah.
All right, so hey Robert, this is Dan. I appreciate you buying the car. Give you a little background story on it. About 5 years ago, might have been 6, it was before COVID, I was in West Virginia, and a buddy of mine, I was coming back with a Porsche 911 on my trailer, and a buddy of mine called me and said, hey, how far are you from this place in West Virginia? I said, like 15 minutes, it's ahead of me. He goes, I bought an old motorcycle, can you pick it up? And I said, yeah. So I swung off the highway to go get the motorcycle, and it's at one of these Trader Joe places. And the guy saw the old Porsche on the trailer. He goes, oh, you like old 911s and stuff? And I said, yeah. He goes, I know where there's a bunch of old Porsches sitting out in the woods in a barn. He goes, but that was 20 years ago. I don't know if they're still there. So he goes, well, let's go hop my car. We'll go try to find them. So we go down these long country roads. Okay, I am turning in to the property. As you can see, this is, oh my God, tight, tight, tight. There's the barn, right there. Man, this is gonna be fun, fun, fun. Anyway, there's one of them in the garage, in the barn. You see it poking through there. Just radio down. Man. And then the other one, if I recall correctly, is right there. How cool. Alrighty, I'm turning this thing off and I will film again later. Alright, so here's one of them. Now it's missing all the glass and bumpers, and it does have wheels. Tires are shot. But the floors are pretty solid. All the gauges are gone. little right there in the seat pan. This one does have the transaxle in it, so it's not too bad. And then in this barn is the other one. I'm gonna pause it. Oh my. What should I light on? Do you have the doors, or they take those too? Man. Goodness gracious. I'm gonna pause this. Half hour away, little dirt road, cut through, and pull up, and there's this barn. I could see a sneak peek of one of them, and then this one was around the corner. So I went and knocked on the old guy's door. He was in his 80s, and I said, "Hey, I noticed you got these old Porsches. Would you be interested in selling them?" He said, "Well, maybe." He bought them in 1967. They were both 64s, and he had taken them off the road in the early 70s, like 74, 76, to restore them, and never touched them. So 50 years basically went by. So anyway, so we stayed in touch. He said, "Let me think about it." I call him from time to time, and he's like, "No, I think my nephew wants them." So I backed off because family comes first. So I just kind of forgot about him. So fast forward 5 or 6 years, and I'm in a general area. I'm a couple hours away from where he is. And I'm like, I wonder if that guy still has those cars. So I called him and went to his voicemail, and it was a lady's voice. I'm like, maybe he passed away and somebody's got the number now. But I left a message saying, "Hey, this is Dan. I talked to you years ago. I'm in the area. I'd love to talk to you again." So that was on a Saturday morning. Didn't hear from him Saturday night. Didn't hear from him Sunday. And I was heading back to Myrtle Beach. So I left and started driving home. I was 3.5 hours into the trip, and he called me. I said, "Yeah, I still have them. My nephew couldn't do anything with them. Come back, let's talk." So I turned around, drove 3.5 hours back, went and saw him the next morning, talked about the cars, showed me what he had. He'd been robbed about 20 years ago, and the one that was in the barn, they stole the wheels, the suspension, the engine, glass, everything off that car because it was taken apart for restoration. This car, he'd taken the stuff off also, but he tucked it away in a different barn, so they didn't get all that stuff. So bought the cars, and here you go. So that's kind of the history of what they are. But he had them, he was in his 20s in the 70s, or in the 60s when he bought these. He's in his 80s now. And he had the two of them. One had an SC engine in it, and he was the shit, as they say, because a 20-year-old kid with two Porsche 356s back in the 60s, it's pretty impressive. I don't know if the guy came for money or what, but it was pretty cool. So he was telling me a story how he used to go down to DC and just zip through the town and light them up at the lights and stuff, and I just thought that was cool. But I hope you enjoy it. It's gonna be a fun project, and I would love to see when you're done. So stay in touch with me and send me updates as you start working on anything on it. I would love it. Thanks again.
Perfect. Couldn't be better, my friend.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
And it's raining and raining and raining a little more, but we got our loader off. It's pouring down, I'm freaking soaked, and life is great. But we have a 1964 Porsche 356 sitting right here. Now this thing was sitting outside for the last 20 years, so I don't think the rain is gonna hurt it. In the coming days, we're gonna go over the parts, see what came with it and what is needed for it. We're gonna load this little lady up in a container and ship her straight over the ocean all the way to Sweden, where she's gonna get restored and brought back to life. Wow! It is not too many of these you see these days, that's for sure. We bought one years ago, a replica, but never a real deal one. And this one made it pretty good, considering it was sitting outside for like a bunch of years. Got most of the parts stolen from her. And the guy we bought it from have just collected together some parts, and with a lot of love, I think this car is gonna come back to life, and it's soon gonna be out on the roads again. This guy have been looking for one for over 10 years, and here it is, finally. A good project for the right money, and once again we made somebody's dream come true. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and we'll see you in the next episode of CarSnipers.